Humans can see more than 1 million different colors. That's a pretty amazing statistic, and it also makes us special. But what does it actually mean, and how did we get to this point? Let's find out. Hi, I'm here with Minute Earth. As a kid, you probably remember staring at a page of a coloring book, agonizing over which crayon to choose next. But if you'd handed that same coloring book to someone 500 million years ago, they wouldn't have had much to say about your color choices, because they wouldn't have seen any color at all. That's when animals first evolved the ability to see in color. But then again, if you handed that same coloring book to our ancestors some 40,000 years ago, they might have been able to pick out a few shades from it: red, yellow, blue, and green. These are some of the most universally perceived colors, and also among the easiest to make. And our distant ancestors were already mixing up a pretty basic color palette with natural pigments like berries and flowers. They were creating body paints made of clays and minerals, but also using natural dyes to color cloth and decorate their bodies and their belongings. Some of these materials are still used today in traditional cultures like the indigo natural dye shown here. And all of these early humans would have had trichromatic vision, meaning they could perceive reds, yellows, blues, and all the colors in between. Humans today still have trichromatic vision, and we are able to see over 1 million different colors thanks to 3 color receptors in our eyes called cones. These receptors are able to perceive the wavelengths of light corresponding to those colors. Our brains then use the signals sent from these receptors to produce the colors we see. Many other animals also have trichromatic vision, but some animals see even more colors. For example, mantis shrimp have 12 or 16 color receptors and can see ultraviolet and infrared light. But back to humans, it's not really clear exactly when color vision evolved, but we know that it was likely driven by natural selection. Scientists think it gave our ancestors an advantage when it came to foraging and mate selection. Being able to distinguish ripe from unripe fruit or to spot fresh leaves would have meant food. Being able to identify potential mates or dangerous predators from a distance may have saved lives. Animals that are active during the day need to be able to communicate with each other using visual signals. Inked. This is especially true for animals that rely on vision instead of other senses like smell to find food. Seeing in color can help signal danger. It's like the bright red color of poisonous mushrooms or the bright orange and black stripes on a coral reef fish. Being able to quickly identify potentially toxic food sources could have helped our ancestors avoid poisonous plants and harmful animals. But being able to see in color didn't just help our distant relatives survive, it also helped them thrive. Having a way to distinguish between potential mates could have given our ancestors an edge when it came to choosing healthy partners and having more babies, and it was unlong after that our ancestors started using these visual distinctions as a form of communication. Paintings in caves, rock art, body art, and eventually works of art became a way to convey messages. It's hard to imagine human culture without the ability to communicate using color. We use color to express ourselves, to influence people's moods, and to deliver messages. Think about clothing, for instance. We tend to associate certain colors with certain groups of people, like firefighters in red or police officers in blue, or a black t-shirt with a band logo conveying a certain kind of style. Even the color of the walls in your house affects your mood. A room painted in warm colors like red or orange can make you feel excited or energized, while cool colors like blue and purple can make you feel calm. So let's take a minute to really appreciate the color blue. In the US, cars are often shown in white in advertisements because the color white conveys cleanliness and purity. But when test subjects were shown these ads, they thought the cars were less exciting and less desirable. So car companies started adding a little bit of color to the ads, but they found that the color that made the biggest impact was blue. Blue was associated with reliability and calmness. And in the US, where people drive a lot and often get stressed out, blue became the go-to color. Blue isn't everyone's favorite color, but in a survey of over 3,000 people worldwide, it was the most popular color. While some color preferences may be based on personal experiences and associations, there may also be some biological basis for liking certain colors. There are many theories about why humans are drawn to blue, including that it has something to do with the sky and the ocean covering most of the earth, and that blue reflects our desire to be calm and relaxed. Perhaps similar to how some people prefer softer colors to bolder ones. There are so many different theories about why humans are drawn to certain colors, and it shows just how complex color perception and color psychology really are. We often think of color as objective, but the reality is more complicated than that. Not only do our personal experiences affect how we perceive color, but so does our environment. When looking at a swatch of blue paint, we might think we're seeing a blue paint. But in fact, we're seeing the wavelength of light reflected off of the paint into our eyes. We re-seeing the wavelength of light that corresponds to blue, and our brain interprets that wavelength as blue. But if there's a lot of yellow light in the environment, that wavelength will look different, and we might interpret it as green. This is part of why color perception is so interesting and also challenging to study. Not only do humans perceive color subjectively, but they also communicate about color subjectively. How we describe color depends on the language we speak. Speakers of some indigenous languages in New Guinea don't have words for blue and green. Instead, they use the same term to refer to both colors, and they able to make fine distinctions between shades of blue and green that speakers of English can't. The color terms that humans use and the distinctions they make between colors depend on the color categories that are relevant in their daily lives. And whether we talking about the Himba people of Namibia who use 7 color terms, or English speakers who use 11, there is no universal agreement on how to talk about color. So the ability to see color is not just about the physical characteristics of our eyes, but also about our brains, our personal experiences, and our culture. Color shapes our world, and it helps shape how we interact with the world and with each other. Some species of birds, butterflies, and fish can see in even more colors than humans. So scientists are constantly learning more about color perception. If you want to learn more, check out the link below. If you ever worry that you're not living life to the fullest, or that you're missing out on something, don't worry, you've got this. You have everything you need to succeed. You just have to unlock it inside yourself. I'm one of the co-founders of a company, and we believe that everyone has strengths that they do want to know about yet, and we design activities that help you discover those strengths. Our online platform provides fun and engaging activities to help you improve your mental health and discover your strengths. Whether you're looking for ways to boost your confidence, reduce stress, or improve your relationships, with a wide range of evidence-based assessments and tools, you can track your progress and see how far you've come. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, please do share for more fun science videos.